Welcome back everybody to my 48th update video. In these videos I go back to 10 past product reviews in order and take a look back at my original reviews and see how they went, and also let you know if anything's changed since my original review was posted. The items in this video are numbers 471 through 480, which spans February and March of 2023. So without further delay, let's get right to update number 48. Number 471 was a cheap glow-in-the-dark clock I got on Temu. It was kind of weird. Let's first take a look back at my original review and see how that went. All right, so this is the listing itself. It's for a large clock. As you can see, they have it on the wall there. It looks very impressive. So here is what I got in the mail. All right, there we go. I have not opened this up yet. That looks pretty basic here. We've got some very thin hands for the clock. So this is the template. All right, so they're saying hour hand first. I'm already having a problem with the minute hand isn't even going all the way on there. I guess that's it. It seems right. Now the next step is to put a battery in here. Let's try that. We have movement. It is working. I've got this sticky note to mark the spot where I want the clock to be centered at. I'm gonna put their template up to it. Next up, we're supposed to take the numbers, peel them off, and stick them to the wall. The backing comes off nicely. Well, you know, I will say they're brighter green than I expected them to be. Here's what we've got so far with just the numbers there. I don't have the clock itself. I'm not sure I'm really convinced it looks as good as the photos. It is 12:51 p.m. We'll see how accurate the clock really is too. It is 5:30, so the clock's accuracy looks pretty good. Glow in the dark wise is looking pretty good. There's no way that's gonna last all night. Let's see how much glow in the dark time we get. Can you see the clock over there? I can't see it. I don't see it at all. It doesn't look terrible. It doesn't look as nearly as impressive as photos. It might look better if there was a lamp below it, or even better, a black light. The glowing effect is not nearly as good as shown in the photos. So as you can see, there is a greenish glow to it, but not nearly as impressive as they show in the photo in the listing. It would probably look better on a dark colored wall, but I don't have a dark colored wall. And they did show it in a light colored wall, and in their photos it looked much brighter than mine. All right, so I've been looking at this dumb clock for the last year now. So let's head to the bedroom and see how it's held up. Here is the Temu clock, still where I put it about a year ago, and you'll notice it says it's about 1:50 p.m. That's not the current time. Current time is 9:30 a.m., but it has a tendency for these hands to get stuck. And even when the hands don't get stuck, sometimes it gets loose, and I find the big hand just hanging down loosely. And it chews through batteries. In the last year, I think I've gone through 4 AA batteries, as opposed to that Sunburst clock way up there, which is still on the same battery I put in there over a year ago. Now, the glowing effect isn't bad. I mean, if I turn my TV off at night, it kind of glows for a little while, but overall, I guess for $5 it wasn't bad, but look, it's stuck again. It's already stuck again. I don't know. I guess you get what you pay for. Number 472 was the product called the Lightboard Go, which was a drawing pad from Sharper Image. Let's first look back at my original review and see how that went. The Sharper Image Lightboard Go. People on Amazon who liked it, they said kids enjoy playing with it. The pens can be stored, well, at least one of them can be stored in this little slot right here, although it's a little bit difficult to get in there. It does store it, but it's a little bit awkward putting it in there. Next up, I did put some batteries in here. It requires 3 AA batteries, not included. There's a kickstand back here, which is sometimes difficult to open, but not always. So let me turn some lights off here, get a little darker. Wow, I've already got fingerprints. Are those mine? I don't think they are. They say also not to use it when it's wet, so now I have to wait for it to dry before I can use it. Oh, that looks nice. So let's try the different modes here. So that's blue and purple. Next up should be blue and white. Mode 3 is red and yellow. Mode 4 is purple, blue, light blue, green, yellow, white, and red. And it goes through them pretty quickly, it looks like. All right, mode 5, it looks like it's blinking. All right, mode 6 looks like it's kind of a different type of display as well. And then 7, this one transitions much more slowly. All right, I get it. I kind of like the red and the yellow better though. All right, so it writes very smoothly. You can sign your name. What I want to do now is turn these lights on and turn this off. You can almost use it without being lit up. It does seem to kind of almost smear that white marker. I'm going to use a dry cloth to kind of dry it off a little bit so it doesn't leave anything behind. When it's not lit up, it looks perfectly clean. Let's try the light on. Oh, it doesn't look as good. All right, let's try it on the fridge and see how well it sticks. All right, the magnets hold pretty good. As you can see, I got some smudge marks from my hand down there, which isn't too big of a deal, I guess. Now this light's gonna go off after about 5 minutes, so it's gonna look like this to most people. The only problem is that you can't leave it there more than 24 hours, it's gonna stain. So you better have your list ready to go pretty quickly. If you wanna have Junior in the backseat of the car drawing when he's bored the entire trip, this is not really a very ideal situation. There's no indication where to get the replacement pin, so when you run out, I'm not sure if you can find anything that works for that. So I'm not really sure the purpose of this, because it seems like it's not very good for lists, it's not very good for artwork, so I'm not sure what it's good for. So even during my review, I never really found much of a purpose for it, and I definitely didn't after my review was over. So this one I ended up donating, and hopefully whoever ended up with it found it more useful than I did. Number 473 was a comparison of the ASEAN TV Bionic Blade with the BlendJet 2 that's been going around social media. Here's some scenes from my original review. Now the Bionic Blade is USB-C rechargeable. They say it can be used for shakes, smoothies, nuts, cocktails, and more. They say it's easy to clean, just add water and a drop of soap and run it through a blending cycle. 1, 2, and then turn it over. There we go. All right, so all I have to do now is just rinse them out and we should have nice clean blenders for our test. Both of these want you to align them up with the arrows, and this one is already difficult to align. Wow. I kind of like the fact that you have to flip it over after you get it started. They say to shake it around if it gets stuck, and it was stuck there. Oh, there was one big chunk, but it didn't seem too chunky. 1, 2. One thing I'm noticing about the Bionic Blade is it does seem like sometimes I'm getting stuff trapped up in there. Pour it back in there. Let me put my lid on here and take a drink. After washing this off, for some reason this is much easier to line up now. I struggled really bad the first couple of rounds, but now it lines up perfectly, so I don't understand that. Ooh, oh! Stuck right on the blade there. Let's try again. Oh, got stuck again. Look at that. Oh, wow. Another big chunk. There is a lid for the Bionic Blade, but it's not really for portability. It's just for drinking out of it. Its bigger capacity seemed to facilitate it doing better in some of these tests. I'm gonna keep using the Bionic Blender, and I'll let you know if anything changes. I've got a lot of blenders around here, and I don't really use the portable types that much, but when I do over the past year, I've usually grabbed the BlendJet 2. Of course, there was a recall on this recently. Hopefully they got that sorted out. I think both blenders were pretty good, but neither one of them I use a lot. Number 474 is the Snap Grip. Now this is attaches to your phone magnetically. It not only charges your phone, but also adds a shutter so you can use it like a DSLR. Let's flash back to the original review and see how that went. The Snap Grip by ShiftCam. Now there's really 4 main functions. It works as a shutter, a grip, a phone stand, and a 3200 milliamp hour charger. It connects via Bluetooth, very simple. It's not compatible with PopSocket, by the way. This is also mainly for MagSafe phones, but if you have a non-MagSafe phone, they do have a sticker you can add on to that and attach it that way. It also works as a stand. It seems to work pretty well as a stand for this phone, but it doesn't really look real stable. Here's how it connects. It just snaps into place. That's why they call it Snap Grip. So you can kind of operate it more like a camera. And you can also twist it into vertical mode, and you can use it like this as well. Here's how it works when you connect with your phone. I'm snapping it on the back, and immediately you can see that it is charging. Filming in vertical mode is much better with the Snap Grip, I will say that. The magnet's pretty sturdy. I mean, I'm shaking it pretty good here, and this is my phone, so I'm taking a chance with it. It feels pretty solid. Without the case on, let's see what we got here. It still feels pretty solid. Well, I will say that I do prefer the way this feels holding it in vertical mode, so it's definitely more comfortable in that respect. I think the idea behind the grip and the shutter is to add more comfort to your phone, so it allows you to hold it more comfortably, which supposedly adds to more stability. No Snap Grip, just walking with the phone myself. Here we go, I'm just holding it, trying to go as steady as I can. Now the same thing with the Snap Grip. Walk up to here and pan around. The target audience for the Snap Grip it seems to be content creators who use their phones to create a lot of video. And for those people, I would say in some cases they might find this to be useful. Although it's one more thing to carry around, and it is 70 bucks. And I don't really think the stand feature is very useful, but the extra battery life is pretty nice though. So I don't know. I'm a bit on the fence about this one. All right, so I used it on occasion between March and July for this update. I felt like at times I was kind of forcing myself to use it, but I thought it was all right. I like the charging feature. I'm not sure the button really added much, but my problem was sometimes I was using it to film, my phone would get knocked off. Now I know a lot of people like it has a lot of fans, but after the second time my phone fell off, I decided it wasn't for me. Number 475 was a countertop mini donut maker. Let's check out that review and see how it went. Now they claim that it makes 7 mini donuts in minutes. It has a non-stick surface and non-slip feet. There is an included instruction booklet and recipe guide, which is quite helpful. There's quite a few recipes in the back there. I give them credit for that. There's a lot of nice recipes. They say to do the center one last, so I'll do that. Oh, it's a disaster. Oh no. I'm not sure about this, but we're gonna close it up. It's been 3 more minutes. Let's take a look here. I'm not impressed. I mean, it's first batch, you know, but I'm just not impressed by this. I mean, it's donut-like. This is what I got. Not impressive whatsoever. This is not even attractive. It tastes more like a waffle than a donut. For this round, I've got some Duncan Hines cake mix, and I put it in one of these containers to dispense it with, which some people online said was a better way to do it. They said to make it about 3/4 of the way full, which is what I'm trying to do here. I think we're ready to go. I close it up. Here we go. The 1.5-minute mark, we're supposed to flip them. Let's see what we got. Oh, these look like donuts, unlike round 1. At the 2.5-minute mark, I'm flipping them. Oh, these look pretty good. These look pretty good to me. These are quite small. I feel like I can get a little bit bigger donuts out of it. All right, I made it much more full this time, so hopefully it works out better. At the 1.5-minute mark, let's try to flip them. Oh, there we go, much better. That looks more like a donut to me. All right, it's been about 2 minutes since I flipped them. Let's take a look here. Oh yeah, I think these are done. All right, I'm gonna top all these, including the couple of waffle tasting ones I have left over that I don't like so much. All right, here's the final result. I think it came out pretty good. My drizzle technique might need a little bit of work, but I think it turned out pretty good. It definitely looks like a donut on the inside, but does it taste like a donut? That's the question. Well cooked, light and fluffy. It was perfectly cooked. It tastes fine. I think that it did a good job. Unfortunately, a mini donut maker isn't something I use a lot. I felt like it worked pretty well, but over the past year, if I ever had a craving for donuts, I usually just bought a package of mini ones rather than going through all that. I think it works. It's just not for me. Number 476 were keychain flashlights. Let's flash back to my original review and see how that went. All right, let's take a closer look at the 2 of these. Now the Kodiak Cube, I paid $21.99 for, and the keychain light, I paid $18.79 for a 2-pack. The Cube here weighs 1.85 ounces. Keychain light is 1.45 ounces. All right, let's start off with the keychain light here. First off, this is on high, very wide. It's a very wide. I mean, I'm moving this back and forth. It's wider than my entire house. Now, one thing I noticed, the Cube's kind of hard to actually find the power button. Because it's flushed, the power button is hard to find. Does it stick? It doesn't seem real sturdy, but it is staying. You can see just how weak that magnet is, very weak. And once again, look at this, very weak. It's like actually sliding around on here. That's sliding, it just fell off. Not great. All right, so the Cube can supposedly charge a phone, but not a lot. All right, it is charging, it's at 58%. All right, the Cube is done and the phone is at 70%, meaning I got a whopping 12% battery boost on this phone. Now the Cube is supposedly submersible, waterproof, they show that in their ads. The keychain light is IPX6, dropping the Cube. How about the keychain light? Keychain light sinks to the bottom as well. All right, they are underwater. All right, I don't see any bubbles coming out of the keychain light, so maybe it is a little bit submersible. Let's pull the Cube out and see what we got. And we have light, yay. And the keychain light, which this is the big question mark. Will it still work? Yay. First of all, how does that compare to the other one? I'm gonna put a side-by-side screen. You can see the Cube and you can see this one, see which one looks better. They're kind of close as far as my eyes go. In comparison to the Cube, I'll put them side by side once again. I don't see a huge difference, to be honest. Didn't sound good. Let's see. Cube light still works, but it does have a crack in it. Keychain looks like it's intact as well. They both survived. A little bit of crack on one, but otherwise, not too bad. Now the Kodiak Cube is something that I still use. I keep it over in that corner where it gets dark when I need a flashlight, and I'm kind of impressed by the battery life on this. I don't really use the charging feature, but it's kind of nice to have a small, compact little light when I need one. It's not really better than a regular flashlight, but I do like it. So to me, the Kodiak Cube is a good product. Number 477 was a product called the Spill Knot, which supposedly allows you to carry bowls and drinks with one hand and not spill them. Let's take a look back at my original review and see how that went. This little gadget supposedly allows you to carry drinks or bowls with as little as one finger without spilling it. It even allows you to walk faster than normal. So I'm just going to place it on here, right in the center. Oh wow, oh wait a second. It maybe is tilted a couple of degrees, but not much. Let's see here. Now, remember, I'm just carrying this, I'm dangling this with one finger. Wow, the one finger technique. I don't think you even need more than one finger. If I can do this while going quickly up the stairs, I think anybody can. Put this on the Spill Knot. We're heading home. I'm sure this doesn't look very natural, me walking down the street with an iced tea with no lid on it. Here we go, I walked all the way back home. Did not spill a drop. Look at that, perfect. I'm actually holding my soup while holding her basket of tennis balls. Time to go inside and eat, but it held up pretty well. All right, I've got the Rapid soup mug full of water. Let's put it on the Spill Knot and head down the stairs. Well, so far so good. It's not even close to being spilled here. I feel like I'm not going to spill this. I feel like it's not going to spill. All right, up and down the stairs with the bowl of water. Didn't spill a drop. All right, well, as far as I'm concerned, the Spill Knot passed every test that I threw at it. I think it's actually a great product. The only real limitation I could come up with is it doesn't really accommodate tall glasses, but otherwise, I think it works perfectly. Well, even though I didn't really have a need for something like that, I'm happy to report I did find someone who did. I gave it to them, and they've been very happy with it. So it's kind of situational, but those who do need something like this do seem to like it. Number 478 was a collection of 3 simple kitchen gadgets. Let's flash back to the original review and see how that went. Here's the Butter Bell Crock. They say to pour approximately 1/3 cup of cold water into the base. Pack 1 stick of softened butter firmly into the bell-shaped lid. Okay, we want this firmly packed in there. All right, well, the butter doesn't even look any wetter. Interesting. Okay, no butter fell in there. That's good. It's not really dripping. Well, it's dripping a little bit. All right, it worked fine. Now what we got here? Butter's still looking good. I'm gonna keep using this every day. We'll see how it works when it's becoming more empty. What happens when there's only a little bit left in there? Let's find out over time. All right, it's been 3 days. It's time to change the water and check the butter to make sure it is still intact. All right, the butter is still intact. That's nice. All right, let's check out the Holstein Housewares 2-section omelet maker. But I'm gonna go with their basic ham and cheese omelet recipe right here. 1/2 cup of chopped ham. 1/2 cup of shredded cheese. Close the lid, plug it in, and we have light. Whoa. All right, that's pretty full. So let's come back in about 6 minutes and check on it. We are at 6.5 minutes, and oh, they look pretty good. They're very fluffy. That's what we've got. I think that looks pretty good. The Mueller Ultra Kettle. I paid $29.97 for this. To open it up, you just press this button on top here. All right, I filled it to the max fill line. Oh, it looks nice. I'm already seeing activity in there after 30 seconds. Now, supposedly it shuts off on its own as soon as it starts to boil, so we shall see about that. At the 3-minute mark, we're getting close. I can already tell. Looks like right around 6 minutes, we got it. We got it right here. There it goes, boom. Okay, turned off at 6 minutes and 15 seconds. Let me see the handle here. Handle is not hot. Handle is not hot. All right, this supposedly has a boil dry protection feature where if you turn it on without water in there, it'll automatically shut back off. I'm gonna turn this switch on right now. There we go. Okay, it worked. It worked. It only was on for a few seconds. That's great. All right. All right, so I gotta say, I'm a big fan of the kettle. I was never much of a kettle user before, but I'm definitely one now. I break this out several times a week. It's held up well. I'm a big fan of this one. I got no complaints. So of those three, this is by far the one I use the most. Number 479 was the Air Up water bottle, one of my most viewed videos of 2023. It supposedly uses retronasal smell to allow you to trick your brain into think you're drinking flavored water. And let's see how my original review went. Now, the claims of this bottle allows you to sip plain water, but through the science of retronasal smell, your brain interprets the smell as flavor, allowing you to experience flavors such as cucumber, mango, passion fruit, and more. I got these flavor pods here. There we go. All right, now we're supposed to take this out of here. And then what we're supposed to do is kind of put this, this point down right here. Slide it onto the bottle itself. Then you're supposed to pull it up to activate. I do taste something. Is it cherry? I'm not really sure. I feel like I do taste something, so I'm impressed about that, but I'm not impressed by the taste that I'm tasting. Try the orange vanilla swirl here. All right, so I'm pressing it down and then pulling it up to activate it. It's better, and I do taste it. Honestly, I'm not real fond of all those bubbles in there. It's like when you have a straw that's punctured and it has that kind of bubbly feeling. That's kind of the sensation of it. So far of these two, the orange vanilla swirl and the cherry, this one's clearly better. Let me try another one. How about some watermelon? Let's try that one. It's weird because I really do feel like there's a taste. I just haven't got a taste I like yet. This is kind of like a chemical watermelon taste. Here's the wild berry. All right, I think we got one. I think we've got one. This one actually doesn't taste that bad. There's a lot of people out there that absolutely love the Air Up. They're huge fans. And there's a lot of people out there that say it doesn't work. I can kind of break it down to what I think are about 3 reasons why there's such a discrepancy in opinions on the Air Up. Number 1 is expectations. I think people that expect kind of a bold flavor, they might be disappointed because there's more of a hint of a flavor than an actual flavor. The other possibility is that you might have gotten the wrong pods. Some of these pods, in my opinion, were pretty bad and some weren't that bad. And the third thing is a lot of people have a different sense of smell. Not everybody's sense of smell is the same, so that might be one reason for variation. All right, so real talk here, I've got to say I didn't really like it. I know there's fans of Air Up out there, they're gonna hate me for saying that, but I just didn't like it. Now, I went through all the flavors that I had bought with it. I never really felt like the effect was that significant. I just felt like I was drinking water. So after I was done with all the flavors I bought, I put it in a box and didn't look back. So as far as the water bottle wars goes, I'm trying to decide between the Sella and the Circle. I just reviewed this one I still have flavors for. This one I've been using for a while now. To me, this is the choice. The Air Up didn't even make the cut. Number 480 was a couple of ice shaker bottles. I compared a couple of popular models, and here's how that went. Ice shaker here, I paid $35.99 for the 26-ounce model. All right, this is how the blender bottle arrived from Amazon. 2 scoops. It looks pretty full already. Blender ball is going in there. Ice shaker cap is going on. That was only 20 shakes, it wasn't a lot. Blender bottle first. All right, so there we go. That is the blender bottle. That's how much did not get broken up with 20 shakes. Let's try the ice shaker next. Oh, a big chunk. All right, it's pretty close. The ice shaker has one larger chunk than the blender bottle did, but I think it's pretty even actually overall. This time I'm gonna add some ice. We'll do kind of a loudness test. I've got 4 large ice cubes in each one. Let's put some more protein powder in here. All right, well, as far as that goes, the ice shaker is clearly quieter. Check this out. I haven't actually drank from these yet. Let me try that out. Ice shaker first. I must admit, I kind of like this opening here. It's almost like ergonomic to your lips. Next up, blender bottle. All right, so both of them are perfectly acceptable, but as far as which one feels better to drink out of, I got to give it to the ice shaker. And the ice shaker is quieter, although the strain test, I think the blender bottle won by just a hair. Interestingly, the blender bottle sits upside down pretty well. That's kind of interesting. If you're looking for a design feature where one could be stored upside down, the blender bottle will win that one. All right, I'll come back in an hour and check on these. All right, the 1 hour mark, they are not leaking. So I'm pretty impressed with both of these. Right there, it's completely full. 14 ice cubes in each one. It's 9 a.m. right now. I'm gonna come back tomorrow at 3 p.m. and check on them and see how they both look. Here we go, the 30-hour mark. Let's see who we got. And there's a tiny bit of ice left, so it actually did work. I'm not sure how much I'm supposed to expect, but the fact there's any ice at all means, as far as I'm concerned, it did pass the test. All right, so even though in the last year I've made quite a few powdered drinks and other things that have stirred in ingredients, I never really reached for these. I just found like a spoon was just as easy. I'm not one to take powdered drinks to the gym with me, so I do think that they work, but they weren't for me. All right, so that's it. I would say in the end, the one I use the most of this batch would be the kettle, which I use several times a week. Quite a few of these I thought were pretty good, but I didn't keep using, such as the donut maker or the spill nut. And then you have the weird ones like the Temu clock, which I kept using even though I didn't really like it. But that's all I've got. I'll be back in about another month with my next update video. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.